Dragon Ball Sparking Zero has just come out and many of us are diving straight into ranked matches, which is one of the most important game modes in any modern fighting game. Today I'll be giving you 5 tips that'll help you win your first few ranked matches in Dragon Ball Sparking Zero early in that rank ladder. The first tip is be comfortable with losing. In a game mode such as ranked as any, there will be matches you win and there will be matches you lose. I know all too well that we always want to win every single match we play, but sometimes that's not possible, and if you lose, don't get too upset or sad. Just take it as an opportunity to learn and reflect on what you did wrong and what your opponent did. For example, think about what you'd do if you faced your opponent one more time. The second tip is adapt to your opponent. There are two main styles that will likely be prevalent now that the game is very new. That is the offensive style and defensive style. An offensive opponent will constantly try to pressure you, especially if they're an android character who can't charge their attacks, and will try to smother you while you have no ki. Defensive opponents on the other hand will be constantly guarding and hard to break. If they're being offensive, rely on counters to push them back and force them to change their strategy. Whereas if they're being defensive, utilize tools like grabs, unblockables, or try to get behind them to force them to be more active. The third tip is understanding your character's utility. Every character has different abilities, movesets, and combos. When hopping onto ranked, select a handful of characters you're willing to commit to and understand each of their abilities and movesets. For example, Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta has a battle stock ability that requires 3 of these stocks to get him to full power mode instantly. Whereas characters like God Goku have God Bind, which provides you with temporary super armor to land a move that locks your opponent for 5 seconds so you can launch a devastating attack. The fourth tip is train. Play against computers or even your friends to understand how to perform specific combos and how you can play around certain styles. While in the early stages of ranked, it's not completely necessary, it completely helps enhancing your ability to play this game with the best results in modes like ranked battle where people can get really competitive. Finally, for the last tip, learn how to defend. Defense includes 3 essential components: guarding, evading, and perception. Guarding involves holding the circle button on the PS or B button on the Xbox. Guarding and evading both use the same button, but guarding is when you hold that button down. Guarding allows you to block every single attack your opponent does and basically reduce whatever damage they do to almost 0. However, holding guard for too long will make you susceptible to attacks because they can break your guard easily. And so you'll need tools like evasion and perception to get you out of that tricky situation. Evasion is when you click the block button right before they hit you so you dodge behind your opponent ready to launch a counter attack. In many scenarios, you and your opponent will be doing a lot of dodges before you actually get to fight. Finally, there's perception, and this might be one of the most important tools in Dragon Ball Sparking Zero when it comes to defensive abilities. Perception allows you to counter every single melee attack your opponent does. It's triggered by pressing the Y and B button on the Xbox or the triangle and circle button on the PS. This is specifically for classic controls, as I know most of us will be using that, but standard controls it'll just be B on the Xbox or it'll be circle on the PS. And if you time perception perfectly with your opponent's punch, you can even trigger an animation known as Sonic Sway. Sonic Sway is almost like a perfect guard, but in this case it's kind of like perfect perception. Once you activate Sonic Sway or even perception in general, you will knock your opponent back and push them away from you. This is perfect for an offensive opponent or any opponent that's trying to corner you. In general, just think of perception as a counter move. In general, learning how to defend will at least take you these 3 skills, and once you learn how to use them, you'll be a lot more competent in modes like ranked battle. So let me know what you guys thought down in the comments below. If you liked the video, hit the like button and subscribe if you want more updates and Sparking Zero content, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.